Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Honourable Member for this question. It is a very significant milestone for Fiji now to be connected to every single continent that rims the Pacific Ocean except South America. We now fly to LA, we'll soon be flying to San Francisco, we fly to Hong Kong, we now do Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, the other Pacific Island countries, and of course there are other airlines like Korean Airways that takes us to Seoul. It is a very significant positioning for Fiji. It helps us to market Fiji not just in the tourism sector, but also to be able to more significantly highlight ourselves as a regional hub in this part of the world. So airline connectivity in particular, Madam Speaker, for what I call isolated island nation states is very, very important. As you would have heard that recently the Honourable Minister for Agriculture and the Prime Minister, when they visited FAO, they've now moved their regional head office to Fiji. There are many other international organizations that are looking at doing so purely because of the fact that we have very got good cost-effective base for business and also the airline connectivity. Yes, Fiji Airways, Madam Speaker, made a profit of $70 million. But $70 million is for 1 year. It has increased to the previous year. It does not necessarily mean that suddenly that, it's going to be hunky-dory next year or the following year. In particular, if you have a business that is subject primarily to many other denominators that's outside our control. One of them, of course, being fuel prices. That is quite significant. With the reforms that have been carried out in Fiji Airways, Madam Speaker, we have reached to this stage. The labour reforms that took place, the efficiency gains, and of course, a lot more room for improvement. In fact, the current CEO, Madam Speaker, is carrying out a number of independent assessments of our various departments within Fiji Airways. For example, we are not necessarily very well known to be very good when we cancel flights in terms of communications to would-be customers or customers who are to travel. We're not very good in that. We need to improve those areas. In terms of whilst we may have the most friendliest staff, there's room for improvement in that section too, and a number of other engineering areas, etc. To answer the Honourable Member, just to put into perspective, I've got the figures now. When the Hong Kong route started, Honourable Member, in 2010, the first year the loss was $15.3 million. The second year loss was $23.8 million. The third year, $19.7 million. This is 2012, 2013. Only after 2012, 2013, the Hong Kong route started making money. If you talk to any airline, anywhere in the industry, you'll always find that the first 2 or 3 years, there is a loss-making proposition because you're breaking into the market. And the airline industry is so competitive. So the overall loss for those 3 years, Madam Speaker, just on the Hong Kong route, Madam Speaker, was $58.7 million. But you have to persevere to build that capacity. Hong Kong started off by flying twice a week. Today, Hong Kong flies 4 times a week, and it's invariably full. Now, even if you factored in, because those days, they used to fly a 767 to Hong Kong. Madam Speaker, let me tell you, the 767 that was leased, it was a leased aircraft some years back. They were paying approximately, and I'll give you the exact figure, approximately $800,000 US dollars a month just to lease that. They got rid of that. The 747s were being leased at $500,000 or thereabouts. They got rid of that because they had 4 engines burning a lot of fuel. Now, even if you took the A330, assuming A330 flew in the Hong Kong route, the cost would have come down from $58 to $48 million, still a loss. So the A330 is a lot more fuel efficient. The fuel saving is about 30% or thereabouts. So the fact is, Madam Speaker, we have as government decided, in particular in the Singapore route, to partner with Fiji Airways to make sure that we get the connectivity and we build up the capacity in the Singapore route. Because it is only very, very critical. We simply can't say to them, you take the loss, and come what may. We need to partner with them. It's a partnership. It's not a subsidy per se. We're partnering with them. There's a formula in which they file remittances like with, they file RIE type transactions. For example, as we subsidize the local domestic flights, where they bid for it, And when they fly a particular route, we subsidize for that. Similarly, Madam Speaker, we are working in a partnership with Fiji Airways to build the capacity because we need that capacity. We need to break into the Indian tourism market. They'll be the single largest outbound market in a few years' time. We need to get into the Middle Eastern market. We obviously need to get into the business class sector to break into that market. Obviously, there's a pool of people in the Southeast Asian market. We were just recently talking to some people, the Minister of Tourism can tell us better about that, that in Indonesia too, there's a sort of upper middle class sector that may want to be able to come to Fiji, not just for tourism purposes, but also for business purposes. So we are now, Madam Speaker, using this relationship with Fiji Airways to also go to international fora and market ourselves as that. Recently at the IMF World Bank meetings, we talked about that and everybody's very excited. We want to, Madam Speaker, break into what they call the MICE market, Meetings, Incentives, Conventions, Exhibition market, which Fiji has never really done in a large scale. We want to be able to bid, Madam Speaker, for the ADB meeting. The ADB meeting, which is held every year or every 2 years, the large ones, they have about 3,000 or 4,000 people that come to the meeting. We are currently talking to the developers in Momi Bay to see if they can build a convention center of that size for us to be able to host those types of events. So we can bid for those kind of events, but you need the airline connectivity. If you have an African that's going to come to an ADB meeting or somewhere from the Middle East or Central Asia, they don't want to go around the world to come to Fiji. We want the airline connectivity, and this is why we partnered with them. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Supplementary question, Honourable Saladin.
Yes, I'd like to thank the Honourable Minister for his response, and I'm always happy to hear him when he says that Fiji Airways is making so much profit. But may I kindly draw his attention back to Fiji in terms of our local airports, facilities, particularly those in the maritime islands, and all those airstrips are still on grassy patch. What kind of plans do you have in place, bearing in mind we have all this huge profit for the development of those airstrips? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
The supplementary question obviously is not related to the substantive question. If the Honourable Member wants to ask a question, that she can bring it at a later time. But she obviously does not understand how the finances work.
Thank you. I give the floor to Honourable Prem Singh.
Madam Speaker, supplementary question. I thank the Minister for his answers. In view of the Minister's answers, the Fiji Airways profit is largely due to the lower oil prices that we understand. We all know that the Singapore route would be not profitable for a while, just as the Hong Kong route. This 18 million that has been budgeted or given to Air Pacific for this specific route, how long does the Minister envisage? What, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year that it will take?
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I want to correct the Honourable Member. It's not largely mainly due to the fuel decrease price, world prices. There's, as the Honourable, the CEO of Fiji Airways has already highlighted in his press statement, he stated and set out a number of factors that have contributed, obviously, to the increase in profits. And I want to hasten to add, Madam Speaker, a lot of it could not have been achieved. It wasn't for the management and staff, the ordinary men and women who work for Fiji Airways, who collaborated to help us achieve those profits, which of course, they're the only first country in Fiji that actually gets a share of the profits in Fiji. And we hope that can be extended to other entities in Fiji also. Madam Speaker, the question regarding from the Honourable Member of how long it will go on for, as announced in the budget, we're looking at a relationship where we'll be able to build, and the money is being given for market development. Just to add to that, the Singapore Sevens that is now being held for the first time because Tokyo has actually stepped out of it, the Singapore Rugby Union has selected Fiji Airways to be its official carrier for the next 3 years. So if it means, and it's a big achievement for us, to have a national carrier from a Pacific Island country with less than 1 million people being the official carrier for Singapore Sevens. Huge marketing potential for us, and of course that's where some of the 18 million is also going towards, Madam Speaker, for the market development of Fiji Airways. And that will continue to a point where we will be able to then, adjust the amount that's available. It may reduce very much. We're obviously not going to increase it, but it will probably reduce over a period of time. And only once the profitability increases, then we'll be able to look at and reconfigure the figures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary question, the Honorable
We
Ratanagar.
do thank the Honorable Minister for the explanation given, especially when they are foreseeing the profit that the Fiji Airways is going to make after going consultation with the Singapore government. The question, the Fijian Holdings Limited was forced by the military regime under the leadership of the current Prime Minister to repay back to the government the 20 million government grant that was utilized in setting up the company. Can the Honourable Minister of Finance confirm to this August House that this same practice will also be applied to Fiji Airways under the current regime? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Speaker, again, if the honourable member wants to bring a new question, he can do so under another sitting. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, like I said, the logic is not there.